Well, a warm welcome to you to the Vincent L. Hawkinson Foundation for Peace and Justice Annual Awards event. My name is Mary Halverson. I serve as chair of the foundation and co-pastor with Dan Garnis at Grace University Lutheran Church, where Pastor Vince Hawkinson served for close to 30 years from 1955 to 1985. There he was a preacher, prophet, and impassioned agitator for peace. Today we celebrate the Foundation's 25 years of making a difference. On your chairs you received a beautifully crafted anniversary booklet. We hope you are inspired by what you find in its pages and share it with others. Leave it like in doctors' waiting rooms and all over. Pass it around. Here are some facts from our 25 years. Since 1985, $175,000 in scholarships has been awarded to 119 scholars and 5 finalists. In 1989, 8 applications for the scholarship were received. This past year, the committee received 47 applications. Over these 25 years, 45 lifelong peace and justice activists have received honorary awards. The Foundation's capacity is growing. This year, 5 scholars and 5 finalists will receive money totaling $23,500. Our scholarship applicant pool is more competitive. Our board is planning for the future and excited about our mission to support and celebrate peacemakers. We are just warming up. 25 years. Do you remember what you were doing 25 years ago in 1988? Here are a few events to jog your memory. The Nobel Peace Prize went to the UN Peacekeeping Forces. Benazir Bhutto of Pakistan becomes the first Islamic woman prime minister. Robert McFarlane, former National Security Advisor, pleads guilty in Iran-Contra case. Republicans sweep 40 states, and Bush beats Dukakis. Unemployment is 5.5%. NASA scientist James Hansen warns Congress of the dangers of the global warming and greenhouse effect. A stamp costs 22 cents. Many things have changed, but our mission has not. We are the only foundation in the Midwest that awards scholarships to students involved in peace and justice, and that also honors lifelong peacemakers. We will continue to provide critical financial support for our scholars, as well as publicize their work in order to encourage and inspire others to action. So thank you for coming this afternoon to celebrate these 25 years and for supporting the work of the Foundation.
I'm Stan Jacobson, and I serve on the board, and I've been involved with the scholarship selection process for about 2 decades now. As you noticed, the year 2008, when it was organized, so 25 years ago, we began with this formula of bringing together honorary award winners, who are kind of the senior citizens of the group, and connect them with the youthful ones, the scholarship winners, and bring them together on these occasions at least once a year and perhaps more often than that, in order to meet each other and find out not only what have people done who are the older people who have been doing this for 30 or 40 years, providing them, the younger people, with models, but also letting the older people know that there are younger ones coming up to replace them through the pipeline. So I've been asked to give a little explanation of how we go about selecting the scholarship award winners, who you will meet several of them today, or most of them today. Candidates are required to complete an essay and send in a letter of reference. And based on that, the selection committee, we met them a couple minutes ago, 3 of us, review those and select certain people for review. So this year it was 47 applications. We chose to interview 10. So we bring them in for a personal interview. And what we're looking for, we ask the same series of questions to each candidate. We're looking for their accomplishments related to peace and justice. Remember, these are scholarships. They have an educational focus, but we're really interested in their activities and what are they doing. Not necessarily what they're studying, but what are they doing relating to peace and justice. We look for leadership. and often for courage in confronting injustice. How are the lives of other people being changed by the candidates' activities? And what is the likelihood that even more people will be influenced by those candidates in the future? How mature are the candidates? Do they have a worldview that puts their particular activities and interests into a broader context? Do they understand the depth of the issues in our complex modern society so that they are both realistic on the one hand and hopeful on the other hand about what to expect? How much can one person change the world? Is their candidate articulate, whether in English or their own language, and can they effectively communicate to others? And finally, how are others who hear their story going to react? We're looking for role models so that others will be inspired. We're hoping for the multiplier effect so that our limited scholarship dollars can have the maximum societal impact. Now that's a lot to expect. Please keep these ideas in mind as you hear about our scholars today. We believe you won't be disappointed.
Thank you, Stan. My name is John Cease, and I'm on the board. And today it's my pleasure to introduce one of the scholars. As a student at McAllister College, Wahru Iru Eda Mburo has pursued diverse and intensive experiences in education, community health, and clinical medicine, including building a library and offering HIV/AIDS education in Uganda as preparation for a career addressing health disparities in her native East Africa. Would you please stand and come forward?
Say a few words.
Okay. Anyway, I'm really grateful to the Hawkinson Foundation. As the person talked there, being able to get the scholarship to sponsor my education in public health is a huge step. But I also think it's a reminder about there are other people out there who are dealing with peace projects, that I'm not alone when I'm doing this. The other people who are encouraging me, the other people who are patting me on the back, and the people I can go to when things get frustrating, when I need help. And this is one of those groups. So I didn't know much about it till I applied, and I've been reading a lot about it, and I feel really grateful and honored to be part of this group. Thank you.
I do like to talk, but I wasn't in that much of a hurry. I invite Tyler Christian Reedy to come forward. Tyler, I present you with the 2013 Hawkinson Scholarship. A community organizer, Tyler Reedy has dedicated his life to helping the poor and powerless by working one-on-one with people in need, by advocating for change at a policy level, and by engaging in academic research that addresses root causes of poverty and injustice. Congratulations, Tyler. We're very proud of you. For all the family and friends of Tyler from Iowa and St. Paul, stand. Thank you all for being here today.
I have to adjust this a little bit. It happens every time. Let's pick it up. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you all very much. This is an incredible honor. I wrote a few words, and I don't know if they're appropriate, but here we go. So my father, who I lived with when I was in high school, worked for a small energy company named Enron. And shortly after my senior year started, he was killed in a work accident. He was a pipeliner, and there was an explosion, and he passed away. Around the same time, one of my friends also was searching for a place to live. His home had been destroyed by meth. As a child, he would eat breakfast and eat his Cocoa Puffs and watch his mother shoot up. And then around the same time as my father passed away, his father was incarcerated for trafficking meth. So eventually we were able to get a small dingy apartment out in the country near our small town. And this home to us became a home, second home, to all the kids in our community who were struggling. The kids who face violence and injustice every day in their lives. Kids who lived in poverty. Kids who face physical and sexual abuse. The kids who live their lives according to the dictates of their parents' substance abuse addictions. And the kids who feared most the violence they were going to inflict on themselves. And as we built this home that had all the requisite swearing and cigarettes and naughty, rebellious things that teenagers do, we found ourselves in a community that talked every day about how tough we could be and how naughty we could be in school, how we didn't care about anything, how we knew that once we got out of this town, things were going to be better. When we became the adults, we were going to make laws that would stop bad people from doing bad things. And all of that was, during the day as we discussed that, I realized all of that was just kind of filling time. And we were just waiting for night to come so that we could maybe have a few drinks and then wait for that moment where you could get the floor and you could break down and you could tell everyone else what injustice was like in your life when you were at home and what was happening to you and your siblings and your family. I realized that violence and injustice is everywhere, and that in order to make a just world, a person would have to dedicate their lives, every moment of their life, every bit and every facet, and there would be a serious commitment, a commitment that I see when I read the bios of the other recipients, which seem out of my league, and I don't know how I made that list, but I'm very impressed by everything I've read. And also, beyond the dedication of individual people, I think there needs to be organizations and institutions like the Hawkinson Foundation, which again I am eternally grateful for this help. And it's these kind of organizations and these institutions that give the inspiration, that give the hope, and financial help. They can let people who get home at the end of the week with a tiny paycheck and an exhausted body and a struggling family because you're off doing 80 hours of work. But it's these kind of organizations, this kind of community and support that keeps people going. So thank you very much.